Hi, I'm Blackbright News. Well, I'm a representative of Blackbright News. I'm actually the managing editor, and this is part 2 of cybercrime. I hope you've listened to part 1 and you're quite aware of what could go wrong. And apart from changing your passwords, which I said before, the best way to do that, and trying to remember complicated passwords, which is a bit of a chore, and I suggested in that video what you should do. Now, what I'm saying in this video is that, most of us think that idiots get caught by fraudsters, and I'm one of those idiots because I did get caught once. Now I'm a bit more vigilant in how I respond to emails, how I respond to phone calls, but I'm very, very conscious when I pick up the phone how easy it is for people who are not on the ball to get drawn in. Now I'll give you an example. I bought a brand new laptop, and after a couple of months something went wrong with it. So because it was under warranty, I took it back to the shop. Now, when I took it back to the shop, they called me within 6 days and they said, okay, your laptop is ready. Come back and pick it up. So I thought, well, okay. I went to the shop, I picked it up, brought it home. Anyway, I didn't have it for about more than 6 hours. And I realized that it still had a fault. So I took it back. When I'd taken it back, it was in the shop. About 24 hours later, I got a phone call. I'm calling you about your faulty laptop. I'm like, yeah. They said, I understand that is something wrong with it. Whatever they said didn't make sense because I didn't have the laptop with me. Or what they said was, can you tell me the serial number of your laptop and the make? And I said to them, why are you asking me for the serial number and the make and you have it in the shop? And they said, put the phone down. Now, my point is that if I'd never taken the laptop back to the shop, I could have easily engaged with them because that would have been an authentic subject for me to talk to them about, because I did have a laptop, it was faulty, I just got it back, and I could have entertained their conversation. Fortunately, that was not the case. What I'm trying to say is that these fraudsters bank on speaking to somebody about the right topic at the right time. You know, these ones that say you've had an accident, or this is about your PPI claim, or the same thing about me, or your PC. I understand you're having problems with your PC. All of those things are feasible discussions, aren't they? Because it might be something that you have discussed, or you might be having some problem with any of those areas. So it's not only idiots who get caught by gangsters. I mean, to be honest, I think I can't imagine giving my bank details over the phone. I just cannot imagine it. I can't imagine somebody calling me up and saying, oh, the A, B, C, D, and E, we need your bank details, or you better call your bank and talk about your bank details. I personally cannot imagine myself doing that, because I just can't visualize why a shop or a bank would need me to verify my details. They might say, tell you your first and last number of your password, and then even then they're not asking you for the whole password. But as for bank details and all that stuff, they don't really do that. So it's really important that, number one, if you can use your fingerprint, I know you're making yourself vulnerable, but it's the safest way. If you need complicated passwords and you need not to duplicate passwords. Did you know that with PayPal, if you've used the password on your PayPal account on another account, you cannot get your money back? Did you know that? I didn't know that until this police officer who deals with cybercrime told me. Or well, he was telling the group. And these are things you don't know because of many of us, you know, in order to make it easy for ourselves, we do use the same password. Fortunately for me, I don't on that particular account. I'm not quite sure why, but I'm fortunate that that is the case. So it is a question of where you can use different passwords on your accounts. Do so. Avoid as much as possible using any website or giving any personal details to any website that doesn't start off with HTTPS. It must have the S at the end of it. H for hotel, P for Papa, T for Tango, and S for sugar. Okay? If it hasn't got that suffix before the website, do not give your bank details or personal details on that website. And also, I think if they've got a padlock, I'm not quite sure. I think the padlock is secure as well. But I know the HTTPS is because it's doubly encrypted and you know it's an authentic source. So I think that is it. Just be wary of emails that just have hi and send you a link. And sometimes you can hover over the email address, which is quite useful. When you hover over the email address, what looks like a familiar email address is actually something else. So do hover over it. The police officer was saying that what these fraudsters do is they get people from the EC who've just finished university and they've only got about a month or so in the country, or a few days, and I don't know how they know how long they've got, but then they buy their bank account details for like 300 quid apparently. So these fraudsters can open up different bank accounts all over the place because, you know, if they use their own bank account, it's trackable. So they buy bank accounts from people from the EU apparently, and they just have a few of them and they transfer them all over the place until they end out of the country. It's quite a big operation, and we do not want to get caught up in it. To make them rich at our expense. I mean, this police officer was telling us, well, he's a retired police officer, and now they call him in just to do cybercrime. But he said, you know, there was an 84-year-old lady, and she'd saved up 75,000 for her residential care. 74,000, I think, £96, and they took the 74,000. Another guy had 440,000 they took. It's almost like they know how much you've got to the penny. And I don't know how they beguile you into putting yourself into a position where all that money has gone. But they do. So please be careful, people. None of us want to be victim, and especially when the police do not look into it unless it's more than 150,000. They might look into it if it's 40,000 and there's more than one victim in the area that's lost about that amount, because apparently just to investigate and get all these computer companies together to track it down, that alone costs them 3,000. So they don't invest any time or money into what they call anything under 10,000. And the police officer said only sometimes they'll look at something if it's 40,000, if there's a couple more people who've suffered the same thing. So what's 2,000 is a hell of a lot of money to people like you and me. 5,000, 10,000 is a hell of a lot of money, and they won't even look into it. So all you can do is protect yourself as much as possible. Get the latest antivirus software. I tend to use the free one. The advice we got today was not to use the free one, but to pay, because it's worth it, for an antivirus and update it periodically when it runs out. So apparently these super Trojans or whatever they put that infect your computer, they lay wait for like 6 months before they even do anything, watching your activities. They're already in your computer. They might even be watching me now. Hopefully not, because I haven't pressed on any links, but you never know. So be careful, peeps. And that's all for now. Take care. Bye.